I think it's about time that we explore Tezzeret and incubator tokens in general, figure out if those are good, and honestly, after doing some testing with this original list that I got from Yellowhead again, as it was suggested to me in chat because I really wanted to explore this archetype, figured might as well take from one of the best players. And I made a few changes, but I really want to start off with the base list and then move on and tune as we go. And this deck has really inspired a lot of ideas in me, especially with the invasion of Segovia that allows non-creature spells to have convoke. This is definitely an archetype that I want to explore. I want to explore like just a pure convoke deck, so this gave me the idea for something new after that. I also want to explore a different build of a Tezzeret deck. But before we get into that, let's start off by addressing Tezzeret, the card. The card is really good. So if you don't know what it does, let's jump into it. So we got 4 mana, 4 loyalty, and the static ability is the first activated ability of an artifact you activate. Each turn costs 2 less to activate. So essentially, on your turn, you get a 2 mana discount, and then on your opponent's turn, you will also get a mana reduction cost of 2 for potentially Bankbuster, for example, or incubator tokens, which are a new type of token that we got introduced, that were introduced with this new set, and they are basically why this deck is actually playable. So we have Norn's Inquisitor. Well, actually, I guess, well, yeah, let's go in order. So we have the 2 static. Let's address why it's relevant. So we've got Norn Inquisitor. When it enters the battlefield, Incubate 2. Incubate 2 means that your incubator token will have 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and you can pay 2 on that token to transform it into a Phyrexian creature, artifact Phyrexian creature. And Norn's Inquisitor also says that when a permanent you control transforms into a Phyrexian, it gets +1/+1 as well. So this can potentially make a 3/3 token on turn 3 when you pay the transform cost. Now, the reason that's relevant is that you can activate incubator tokens for free with Tezzeret, which is really good. And also you can activate Bankbuster for free. So overall, just really good at using mana efficiently. You also have Energy Refractor, which you can pay 2 to essentially ramp 1 mana for free with Tezzeret. All right. The +1 is draw 2, then discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. Now, that is not an effect. The second clause we're not going to use as much. We don't really discard artifacts. Like, they're just really... Our artifacts are really good at drawing more cards, so we wouldn't necessarily do that, although it is relevant sometimes. I think the main thing is that you can discard lands and find spells. You dig fast. And we know from Fable the Mirrorbreaker that an effect like that is worth quite a bit when it's tied to another permanent, and this is the case for Tezzeret. Now, the main appeal of Tezzeret is that the -2 transforms or target artifact becomes an artifact creature. If it is in a vehicle, it has base power and toughness 4/4. That's really good. You can make Energy Refractor into a 4/4, which is already great. But the main thing is that with incubator tokens, those tokens already have +1/+1 counters on them, so you get a 4/4 baseline with those +1/+1 counters. Essentially, you're making a 6/6 in this case with Norn Inquisitor. And it can also become a 7/7 if you transform it. If you transform it after you target it with the ability. So just really good effect. Very solid. Really oppressive stat line. Like for a creature to come out on turn 4 as a 6/6, it's just fantastic. Or 7/7 if you still have Norn Inquisitor. It's just so good. So we have that, and the -6 whenever an artifact you control becomes tap, draw a card. That's also like a really solid effect. So overall, Tezzeret has already been a card that's been looked at and, attempted to make work. Like a lot of people tried to make it work before, but now is the time for this card to shine. Another card that works with Tezzeret is Progenitor Exarch, which is a 1 mana XX card. So essentially, if you want to pay 3 mana, or 5 mana, or 7 mana, so it's instances of 2 basically, because you have to pay X twice. And for each time you paid that mana, then you incubate 3. So 3 +1/+1 counters on each token. So you can make multiple. For 5, you get 2 tokens. For 7, you get 3 tokens, etc. And then the tap ability on this creature is that it transforms an incubator token. That's really good. But yeah, this card is just kind of like a late game bomb. Like, it's really good when the game is really slowed down. You start making like a bunch of tokens, and you can like transform them into 7/7s directly, or just make a bunch of 3/3s. It's just very efficient. So that's that. That's like the core of the deck. now we move on to the supporting cards. Well, first of all, we got Counter Magic. We have Make Disappear. That's a classic. We have Protocol, which is a 2 blue spell and has additional cost. You can tap an untapped artifact you control or pay 1 and it counters a spell. That's interesting and really good in this deck. There are a lot of artifacts. Make Disappear is obviously good. And one card that I'm still unsure about, but seems to be either the best card in your deck or the worst. And it's Omen Hawker, 1 mana, basically mana dork for artifacts. So it's a 1, or not just artifacts, activate abilities. So 1 mana, 1/1, and you tap it. It adds colorless and blue, and spend this mana only to activate abilities. So we've got a few things we can do with that. We can activate Incubator tokens by tapping it. We can activate Bankbuster by tapping it. We can activate Refractor by tapping it. So we've got 3 things. We can also activate Spellbomb. I forgot about that. Spellbomb, 1 mana, sack for 1, draw a card, or sack for 3, and you return a creature to its owner's hand and draw a card. Kind of but good effect, especially with Omen Hawker and with Tezzeret. But yeah, Omen Hawker, it feels really good on turn 1. I just don't like drawing it. In the mid game, it definitely feels like a dead spell. So still unsure about this. When it feels good, when it is good, it is insane. And when it's bad, it's a 1-drop that doesn't do anything. So double-edged sword, but at least we can discard it off of Tezzeret sometimes. Invasion, it makes 2 1/1 tokens with trample, and you can deal 4 to it to get a 3/3, and non-creature spells you cast have convoke, and at the beginning of your end step, untap 4 creatures. That's really good. That effect is the main thing, and everything as convoke is kind of nice for like Wandering Emperor, Tezzeret, etc. But kind of the main way that this deck really pulls ahead is with Wedding Announcement. I mean, we already know what Wedding Announcement does. It's so broken. It's just disgusting. Every time it just makes a huge board state, it can overwhelm your opponent so easily, and the fact that it potentially can draw you cards as well is just so devastating when you're going wide. So yeah, this card is just broken. I mean, yeah. I mean, it feels like all standard decks have to at least play Wedding Announcement or like Fable to be like good, or Shield Red. I don't know. But yeah, we know what it does. And then Wandering Emperor for interaction, pretty much our only way to interact with creatures. Not great. And Elspeth, pretty much. I'm really happy that I got to play with Elspeth in this deck because I got to cast it a few times, and it has really showcased that this card is very good, like really good, especially the ult, which is easy to get to. And since it starts at 4 loyalty, you go to 6 and minus. You return all non-land permanent cards with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And as you can see, pretty much everything we have is 3 CMC or lower, so very good card. And just it making lifelink tokens is really good. The +2/+2 flying is really good. Like, this card is really good in specific decks, and I think specifically with Wedding Announcement, it feels very oppressive. So yeah, there's that. We got Former X because obviously they are artifacts. They scale with Tezzeret, and they're really good with Wedding Announcement. So yeah, I understand the Former X. Sideboard, we've got a little bit of toolbox as usual. We've got the Elspeth Smite, which is really good at dealing with aggro decks. Deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking, and exile. Really good. Destroy Evil, classic, negates, make disappear. Blue Sun's Twilight, a card I added. It's mostly because Fable is a huge problem for this deck. As with most blue-white decks, the answers to Fable are limited and if not non-existent. I mean, there is Laron, but I don't know. It didn't feel like there was that much room in the sideboard. I only managed to fit 1 in, and even Laron doesn't deal with the Goblin token, which is kind of a problem. It will trade, but give him a treasure. Sunfall, a new card. Basically, the way we deal with go wide strategies on our opponent's end. Exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. That is powerful when you sweep a board, and then right after that, you're making a huge creature. That can be really problematic for your opponent. So, cool card. Yeah, I have not been able to use it yet because I haven't faced decks where this would be good, but I'm sure it's a good card. And we have 2 Hearths. We have 2 Hearths. But yeah, either way, this deck is cool. It inspired a lot of new ideas for decks that I want to be testing out, and this is the starting point for that. So I can only be grateful that this deck was, played by Yellow Hat, built by Yellow Hat, and that I got this as a starting point. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the matches. All right. Okay. Interesting hand. I gotta say, I'm not sure about the amount of interaction in this deck. I feel like it's a little bit, maybe a little bit underwhelming. Guess that's why there's Surgical Spell Bomb. Oh, this is a fantastic matchup. Oh, I love this deck against Grixis. Oh, wait, no, I don't love it. Never mind, I'm dumb. Actually, I thought it was Rakdos, and I said Grixis, and then as I was casting it, I realized that was a bad play.
Something suspicious is going on.
Fantastic.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Really smart stuff. Okay, that was pretty lucky, though.
We can save everyone.
Yeah, that was such a bad, like, I don't know, I was so excited about getting wedding announcement down against Grixis, and I forgot they had counter magic. And I have Bankbuster, but like, I criticized my opponents all the time for not drawing with Bankbuster on 3 and casting a spell against Grixis. I just did the same thing. Also, I think Omen Hawker is just a bad card. Not sure. Like, it feels like as a top deck, it's just not very good. I'm unsure about this card. I guess we'll find out. Return all non-land permanent cards. Oh, Elspeth is really good in this deck. Maybe I feel like it should be more than one. I think I do one, then I activate it, just so I can catch the. Wait a minute, is Lily even relevant? I don't think it is. Maybe I do just go. Go for max value, huh? And I just plus. I feel like I'm okay here. Oh, this can do what? Transform target Incubate? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's I forgot the set of static. This card is pretty good, I think. It is very slow, but okay, now I get why there's only one of it. I feel like if you draw multiple, it's just kind of not it. My shirt's going funky with the green screen. Oh, it is a little bit. Oh yeah, it's a little bit see-through. Let me see. I'll try to change that. That should be more than. Wait, is this going higher or lower? I can't tell if this is fixing it or not. Oh, it's definitely not fixing it. Well, I was not even looking at the. Yeah, now it's completely off the rails. So it's supposed to be lower. Okay. Is that better? Uh okay. Yeah, it was not it looks weirder on the webcam settings. It doesn't show like exactly how it looks. I think it's okay now, hopefully.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
I don't think this is worth playing. I could just activate both of these. Oh, but it doesn't. No, but Brother Ascent screws these anyways, right? Yeah. Actually, no, this is fine. I can plus Elspeth. The minus on Elspeth is so interesting. I'm gonna be honest. It does feel really good. Huh? I guess they can effectively counter that, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that good. Just make a 4/4 haste basically. This deck is really getting its Grixis. I think that's what I'm really looking forward to is the fact that it is so good against Grixis. It's just so good. So many tokens. Really annoying planeswalkers, a few counter spells. I feel like Omen Hawker is not good, but I still want to test it for sure. But I don't know. I don't I don't love this. I don't love the idea of like top decking it. I feel like turn one, sure, but Magic is a game where you can already top deck lands. I feel like top decking this is probably a death sentence. You have no card like. I guess Tezzeret, maybe Tezzeret discarding this is actually good enough. I don't know. I guess that's the only hope that you really have. Hearse or no hearse? Hawker with energy refractor. I mean, it's like a ramp spell, but yeah, I mean, I get it, but is that not just like too cute? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No, I mean, I get it. It's fine. Actually, the fact that it's a 1/1 is okay because it gets bigger with wedding announcement. I don't know. It's probably okay. I just feel like it's weird. But the fact that you can discard it, I think, is a huge benefit. Like 2 cards for 1 mana, but you redraw a card. It's like kind of cool, but I don't know. Anyways, like this would be like the first thing I would cut, especially on the draw. I would just like bring it down to something like this. Is this incorrect? Actually, I would just cut Skull Bomb. Skull Bomb is actually not very useful, I think, in most matchups. I would rather have the Omen Hawker for like tempo on the Bank Buster or the Norn Inquisitor. Okay, all right. It is a good one drop. I can't say it's not a good one drop. All right. If they Fable, I lose the game. And this is like the main issue with blue white in general. Is the answer like the answers to Fable are definitely not good. Okay, so it kind of paid for itself a little bit already. Actually, it definitely paid for itself because they traded. Hmm. Does blue white have any new removal? I mean, it has the 1 mana deal 3, which I think is okay. I think Wandering Emperor is like a 4 of. It should be a 4 of because some matchups are just going to be counterspell based, and you need a flash card. Alright, thank goodness. That and Sunfall. Sunfall's not good against Grixis though. That's my issue, I think. I kind of just want to exile that, but I guess I won't. Hmm. Does 1 mana deal 5? I don't think that's good against Grixis either. That sucks. Bible.
And I will say my judgment is final.
Oh no, I meant literally this deck versus Grixis.
I'm never done for good. We must protect the people.
I mean the matchup is okay. Like even if they do resolve Fable, it's just not having removal for the reflection is the harder part. Like the Goblin token is annoying, but I don't know. I have Wedding now, so it kind of evens things out a little bit. It's just I don't know. Maybe I have to play Destroy Evil or something. Oh my god, it's just yeah, Fable's so good. Or maybe I just play Laron. Be an easier way around this. Yeah, I just lose it. I kind of just lose the game. It's so broken. Like they did, all they have to do is draw 3 Fable, and it's somewhat like it's kind of unwinnable. That's the main drawback to playing this deck, especially with no Laron and no Farewell in the deck. Doesn't feel that good. Doesn't feel that good, yeah. Like, how am I gonna deal with double reflection? Especially with them ramping as well. I have nothing. I have zero zero removal spells. Yeah, there's not a the sideboard is not right for Fable. Definitely not right. It needs Loran or at least like one copy of Farewell. Something along those lines. It's way too hard. There's Sunder, the 2-mana card that destroys something. I have to look at that card. I don't know if it's good or not. Okay, they didn't attack, which I guess is fine. That's good. I guess I'm just going wide board state with Mirex. And then I have to tank reflection combo for a bit. Oh god, there. I mean, again, Wedding Announcement is good against Grixis, so maybe this just wins me the game. Now they have a negate up, they can't really interact with it. So I have a wider board state, they just have a better... I guess no, at this point it doesn't... I guess they don't do anything at this point, kinda. They can tank with Bankbuster. Probably means I shouldn't go super Omega all in. I guess if they tank with Bankbuster, I can grab myself Fable, which is kind of good. I think I will take it. Yeah, I should just go in here. Or am I dead? I think the question is, am I dead? If they just choose to tank it. At most, well, first of all, I think they have to interact, right? So have 8, 10, 19. Oh, they don't have to. Oh god. That's really scary. They don't take the bait. Okay, well. I think the correct play was not to attack with everything. Then I just attack with the 2 big things. Ice Stone is interesting. I'll consider it if I find room for it. Okay, well, I mean, any deck with wedding announcement just feels kind of good. It's kind of like Fable. It's you see it in your opening hand on the play, and your hand just looks so much better. Also, I'm not sure about this card. I feel like most of the time this is just a weaker make disappear, especially on turn 2. I feel like those turns are really crucial. Although I would not counter that. But... Okay, how many early game plays do I even have? Refractor, Bankbuster, Inquisitor. That's a decent amount. I love Elspeth. I feel like Elspeth wants to be even more present in the deck than it is currently. But this is a good matchup again. I love that this deck just feels really good against red-black. Once you get past Fable. Like, Fable is definitely difficult. And there are too many reasons why this deck is not good against Fable. It just doesn't have good blockers. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't think I would have to counter, but... You become an angel!
To the skies!
I guess I'm good for bodies here. So this is the Rampant Atraxa deck? Oh, it does have blue. I've got my 4/4 soldier. Soldier Angel. Upgraded. Oh god. Oh god, I'm scared. Terrified. Brother, like in my head, minus brothers and counter spell. Like they counter my counter. Okay, good. Sure. Unfortunate, but not much of a choice, really. I guess I didn't necessarily need the life. Maybe I just boost a human instead. I knew they had brothers then, but they have counterspell too, or they have a second one? No. Okay. That's okay. Taking the progenitor is annoying, but it's not the biggest deal ever. A refractor is such a... I don't know, it's so weird. It's such a weird card. I don't know how I feel about it.
I have no reservations about cutting down my opposition.
Wait, now I'm confused. Can you minus an incubator token and then transform it and it makes a 6/6? I mean, either way, I'm probably not doing it, but...
Form up on me!
Oh, it does work. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's very interesting, actually. I'm gonna do it.
My
Wait, what?
toys will keep you busy.
Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, I don't even have to transform it. It's already... Oh, it had +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. But then I feel like it kind of defeats the purpose of having the cost reduction. So I guess you want something else to use it on. An energy refractor is not it, really. Not it. I'm still wondering if this is a meme or an actual strategy you want in this deck, and I feel like it's a meme, but I could be wrong. They are at 7, and they're going to 4. So maybe they fetch for Brother's End here, and then they also have to kill my 7/7. So actually, I think they're kind of locked out here because the 7/7 is extremely difficult to deal with in red black main deck, because usually they have like maybe 1 Abrade, but definitely not 2. And since they didn't have a second Brother's End last turn, they would have to fetch for Brother's End either way. Time to try Blue Sun Starlight. Okay, I mean, reanimation decks are annoying. This deck doesn't really have that much access to exile in general, which is something I might consider. See, this is my problem with this current build, is that once you reach the sideboard... Oh, first of all, this is bugged. I can't... The card is non-existent. Oh, okay, got it. What I don't like is post-board. When you're adding cards, it feels like you just cut this combo. So usually when I'm deck building, if this happens, I usually just cut the combo because I realize that post-board... I'm trying to like pre-board and not really have cards that are kind of useless post-board. Unless their impact in game 1 is really huge, which you could argue maybe Omen Hawker is pretty good in the main deck. But Energy Refractor, I wouldn't say it's a bad card, but can it not be something else? I guess that's a better question. I wonder if I want Hearse, because I feel like Hearse is not fantastic. Like, sure, they're trying to reanimate, but I kind of just want to counter. At the same time, I kind of have to respect it. Now I have like way too many 2-drops. I don't think I need this. It's kind of weird. Deck does feel a little bit weird post-board. A lot of 2-drops. Basically just a wedding announcement deck. I mean, any hand with Make Disappear is a good hand, I think. Now, the problem is 5 lands is not ideal. There's not that many lands in this deck, though. Oh, this is a good start, yeah. And this is why double Make Disappear can be really backbreaking for some opponents. Is, if you draw a Bankbuster and you have a bunch of lands, like Make Disappear, counterspells in general are... get better the more lands you find. Because then you can just hold them up and play land, and then keep doing that. That's annoying. Looks like they have lands. So the problem is if your opponent recognizes that you have counterspell, and then they just keep playing lands out, then you kind of lose, especially if your counterspells are conditional. But if they get mana screwed at any point, it's still a really good situation. So that's maybe they're playing like a little bit less lands or something. And in this case, they're just getting 1-for-1 by Make Disappear. Tap land's not really helping. Flooding is not good in this deck. It's not terrible either, though. We do have Tezzeret to kind of cycle through lands, maybe. So I'm gonna make sure I keep a few lands. Loran is fine. Not super exciting, but not terrible either. Okay. Well, I guess this game was just... the second game was a showcase of why Make Disappear is just too good, I think. And is a little bit of a problem. But I think... is it rotating out? I don't remember. Okay, wow. Okay, interesting. This is interesting. But still, how good is this? I mean, it is really good on the play. But I never doubted this card was going to be good on turn 1. And when you curve it out, but what if that doesn't happen, you know what I mean? Like, what if that doesn't happen? Do 4 Sparse and 4 Raffine Triumph to make Lay work. I think that's a little bit too awkward. Essentially. It's probably, I mean, we're against Grixis. Like, I can't believe I'm hitting so many Grixis players. It's kind of crazy. It does feel pretty good. I really like this deck. Just because it beats Grixis, pretty much. I can always appreciate a good Grixis, anti-Grixis deck. Although this could probably, the thing is, you could probably build a better anti-Grixis deck, by streamlining it a little bit, like moving, maybe not playing too many weird cards. But it's hard to say. I should not play Tezzeret here, so probably doing this. Maybe try to find counterspell. Oh, okay, that's fine. All right. Maybe there's another. Maybe there's another vehicle you play. Target artifact becomes an artifact creature. Wait. It doesn't say target artifact that isn't a creature. Does that mean Mirex tokens can become 4/4s? That's really interesting. Wait, activated abilities. Does that mean I can activate Mirex for like uber cheap? Probably. Okay, I'm really not sure about this. Like, this is probably the biggest question mark in this deck. I feel like Invasion of Gobakhan might just be better. I don't know, going wide is good, but you'd almost rather this be tied to a Planeswalker. But the only thing that's good about this card is that it costs 3 and this deck is kind of low on 3 drops. So it does make sense, but like on turn 4, I'd rather play an Elspeth for sure. On turn 3, it is definitely probably the best thing you can do though, so that's why it's a little bit fortunate. I feel like the backside, like the 3/3 creature is not worth that much either. It's not bad, but really not spectacular either. I'm scared of Brotherhood's End, but they already. I think it's okay. Energy Refractor. If only this made Phyrexian artifact creatures, then it had synergy with this. Damn, that's a 5/5 Energy Refractor. What's happening? Uh-oh. See, this is where things get out of hand. This deck really needs something to deal with Fable in the main deck. Like, how do I deal with this? Feels like I just have to attack, I guess. There's good news and there's bad news. I don't really want to minus this, so. Do I want to? No. What about the shark? Shark is interesting.
I can practically taste success already.
So would I rather have an energy refractor or an invasion? I feel like invasion is just not that good. Yeah, I think I would just I would rather have refractor than invasion. That's kind of crazy. Definitely draw. Ah, see, this is the point where I I guess I would have discarded. I should have drawn first, probably. Alright, so we're going in next turn. I mean, I'm gonna start going in. I have to start sending this in, right? Yeah, at least I get the 1-for-1 now. Actually, maybe I don't attack there. I don't know. Good swing next turn. Oh, that's good. They're giving it to me. That's definitely good. You can put one Laurent main deck. I definitely could, yeah. It does feel like this is such a like a ticking time bomb. Like you will lose to this at some point. Especially if you don't draw Wedding Announcement. Like Wedding Announcement gives me a very small chance to win. No, actually, it doesn't give me a very small chance. It gives me about an even chance, unless they both come down at the same time. So, assuming they play Fable first, then I play Wedding Announcement, I lose. Even in the case where I play Wedding Announcement first and then they play Fable, I think I still lose. So, if they play Fable like turn 5 like they did here, I still have like chance because I have the stats. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. Okay, this is not good. But I got the 5 damage and that was huge. The fact that they didn't block is definitely a massive downside for them. So let's just let's do it, you know what I mean? Let's do it. Oh, I should play this first. Yeah. All right. Thankfully, that progenitor was really good with Ezzy. Very good. So thankfully, I just had like enough board presence consistently to win the game. Thanks to Wedding Announcement mostly, and then actually I drew really well. So the fact that I drew really well gave me a chance. Like if anything, if I didn't have Tezzeret, I'd probably lose. If I didn't, obviously, if I didn't have Wedding Announcement, I'd probably lose. If I didn't have Progenitor, I don't know, maybe replaceable by Inquisitor. I don't know. Tezzeret enabled a lot of things there. Hey Baron. My experience you oh yeah, I just already read that. Moondrake? What's Moondrake? There's a Laurent. Yeah, sideboarding is just a nightmare with this deck. Does not feel good at all. I'm not sure about the Skull Bomb. Like, I like it, but it also just doesn't feel like it has enough impact. It is kind of good. Like, the value is there, but the impact, it's not removal, so I have to deal with the creature either way. It is pretty good against Fable Token, but I don't know if it's necessarily good against the Tiki itself. I love this Elspeth. Yeah, this Elspeth feels really good in this deck, and I want a second one, kind of. I feel like if I have to try a version of this, I think this deck is good, but I want to try a version of this with less like shenanigans and more more like good standalone cards. I feel like that could be a really good thing for this deck. Oh, I should have boarded in Hearse, I forgot. I just want like 4 Make to Spear main deck, 2 Elspeth, no surgical spell bomb, maybe a shark. I feel like a shark would be pretty interesting. Then like spell pierce as well. Yeah, Spell Pierce. Actually, Spell Pierce would be fantastic in this deck. Mostly because you can discard it off of Tezzeret, and I think that's so Shark plus Spell Pierce version probably be next up on the list. But I think this deck is like pretty good already. Okay, now we see the problem with Protocol, where I think Protocol is maybe the 5th counter spell you want, but not before you play 4 Make Disappear. Because I think I would have left up I would have left up Make Disappear just to make sure I don't get Fabled, because if you get Fabled with this deck, you're done. Like, you're kind of out the game. And that's scary. Why don't I think Moonsnare Prototype? Oh, I don't think Moonsnare Prototype is worth it. Is that the 1 mana thing? Maybe. Doesn't seem like it would be that good, but I don't know. Moonsnare Prototype. Maybe it's better. It might be better than. It might be better than the 1-drop. I don't know. Moron is definitely probably the best answer to Fable you have, but then still get the treasure, so it's still a bad trade, quote unquote, for you. It's the best thing you've got, but it's just not that good.
Ready arms!
Chandra. Chandra means this is actually I don't know. I have no idea. What does this actually mean? Jesus. That can hit planeswalkers, huh?
Even my new
That is really good. Okay, maybe I don't want a second Elspeth then. 1 mana. I don't really have 1 mana cards, so a little bit terrifying. A little bit terrifying. Oh, there's another card I feel like this deck might want. It's just like the 5/5 Angel. The first striker, the backup one. I feel like that could be pretty decent. Damn, they have so much interaction. Just dying to Blood Tithe Harvester. That's like a classic. That's a classic Grixis situation where you just have one creature and then you just have a shit ton of interaction and they can't do anything. Alright, if they can interact with this, it's kind of done, but... Oh, it didn't transform though. But I still have to do it. Okay, there's Fable. Do I have time? Maybe. This is not an artifact land, Ouch. Oh god. Goodness. Oh my god, Fable's so rogue. Oh my. Every time I see it, it comes down, makes a token, and then they just get. Oh my god, it's so broken. Holy moly. That just hard counters this entire deck, I think. But Fable, that was because of Fable. Fable is just so good. So I need the top deck. I need the top deck Loran. Blue Sun's Twilight. Wandering Emperor might work. They should have kept that. Flip 7/7? I don't think that works that way. Oh no, it does. It does work. Because of this. Oh, cool. Okay, sick. That's pretty cool. Good to know. At least I learned something in this game. We're still kind of screwed, but... What can I do? Can I make it Esper to add removal? That is actually interesting. I don't know why I didn't consider that. Maybe because I don't know if blue-white necessarily needs to be a thing in this deck. Maybe the black splash adds just too much value for spot removal. I don't know. It does make the deck less consistent, I think, overall. Oh, they didn't even minus. That's fantastic. Alright, Laron. Wandering Emperor is good here. Do we give up on the Proliferate deck? No. What? Why do people assume I give up on decks when I'm playing something else? The Proliferate deck is really good, but sometimes I just want to play something else. I mean, we have the card draw engine. I guess I should just send this, right? I should tap this just in case. Or this. I guess I tap that. Whatever. One white. No, one white. It could matter. I shouldn't have played this land. Okay, screw it. I'm just gonna. I don't think one Murex token actually matters that much. I'm gonna just make sure I don't get screwed here. In case I draw like wedding ounce. Oh, I wouldn't even play it. What am I talking about? Wait, why did I do that? I wouldn't even play it, even if I drew a white card. Oh, I would play Inquisitor though. Yeah, I mean, is what it is. What's white? What's white really for? It's for wedding announcement. What are you talking about? Wedding announcement, Wandering Emperor, Elspeth. That's more than enough to justify the white. I mean, maybe this deck can be in red, but then like why? No, but then Inquisitor doesn't make sense, right? Because the whole point is to play Incubator tokens with Tezzeret. Maybe blue red shark. I don't know. There's a lot to explore with Tezzeret and Incubator. What do I think the meta has shifted in the last few weeks? I don't know. There's no meta. That's all. That's all I think right now is I think there's no meta. Why are they not minusing or sacking? It's good for me, but also I missed that, which is not good. I do want to draw. If I hit wedding announcement, that would be pretty good. I'm happy I'm gonna be able to hit. Okay, I will play that. I think swinging is not worth. No, it's still not worth. Actually, it could force a block. Okay, 1 second. It could force a chomp and then. But I'm pretty low. I think that's my issue right now. Oh, these have trample? I guess since I have. Yeah, I'll go in. I'll go in. At least I get a token or something. I think with 3 blockers, I'm kind of safe. I can chump block worst case, but I'll probably double block and chump. And otherwise, I get a 3/3, which is fine. Basically, I need wedding announcement, I think. Maybe blue black. Yeah, I saw the blue black shark deck. It looks fine. I do feel like not having Norn Inquisitor is a huge downside though. Like the card is definitely really good. Like, really, really good. The card is very, very good. Oh, I get to untap. Wow. I forgot this had a static. That's pretty good. Can you crew an untap Bankbuster? I think I could, yeah. Wow, okay. Okay, yeah. It's funny, like there's a lot of interactions to learn in this deck. And I'm glad I'm learning them pretty quickly. Right. Yeah, you can crew and then untap. It is pretty good, yeah. Especially because the thing crews by itself too. Alright, I got enough. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me keep making it, consider supporting me over on Patreon, where you'll get access to a bunch of bonus videos, as well as other rewards depending on the tiers. And thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that are already subscribed. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you all in the next video.